I want to talk about attention. And this is going to be really, really powerful. I hope you get it, because if you do, if you really understand what I'm about to say, it will totally transform your life in the way that it will allow you to take control, complete control of your life and your experience. Now, when I say that, take complete control of your life and your experience, I don't mean you'll be able to control every single thing that happens, but you will be able to control your experience of what happens. So being happy is not about having a lot of happy shit happen to you. Being happy is about how you experience what happens to you. Or another way I could say it is, being happy is about how you interpret what happens to you, right? So the same situation could happen to two people. One person could view it as a bad thing. Another person could view it as a good thing. As the result, one person will be maybe angry or depressed. The other person would be happy, even excited. So that's what I mean. How you use your attention determines the type of life that you live. It determines how you experience life. And it's just that simple. There's nothing else to it. It's all about what you give your attention to, because whatever you give your attention to will increase in your life. It will become bigger and stronger and take up more space in your life. It will determine how you experience life. And it's so profound. And I was inspired to do this video just a little while ago when I was working out. And I was on the stair climber, and where I work out at, they have TVs lined up like all across the wall in front of the stair climbers and treadmills and ellipticals. TVs are lined up all across the wall, or dropping down from the ceiling. And every one of these TVs are on a different station. So I try not to look at the TVs too much, but every now and then, especially when I'm on a stair climber, I'll look up and glance at the TVs, and so I looked up at one TV, and it was on a food channel. And one of my favorite pastime foods, was on the TV: pizza. And so as soon as I looked up and saw that, I looked away immediately. And when I did that, this is what was spoken to me: that whatever you give attention to increases in your life. Now, pizza, well, to give you a little background, all human beings are frugivores, and I have a video on that on my channel, so check that out. But human beings are frugivores. Now, there's not many of us living as frugivores, but as a result, we're suffering. Many of us are suffering from diseases and sickness and just different ailments because we're living an unnatural lifestyle. What we eat is unnatural and is not consistent with our species specific diet as human beings. We all have diets specific to us. Some of us are carnivores. Some of us are omnivores. Some of us are herbivores. And human beings are frugivores. So anyway, as I mentioned, pizza was something that I was addicted to. And the reason why is, and a lot of people don't know this, but the cheese on pizza contains the process involved in making cheese causes opiate-like substances to be formed in the cheese. So cheese is literally a drug as a result of the opiates that form during the process of making it. Cheese has been compared to heroin in terms of addiction and effect that it has on us. And of course it's different for everybody, but me, I was one that was addicted. In fact, I'd have to say that was my hardest battle, getting away from cheese. I used to have dreams about it. I fucking had nightmares about it. I used to struggle, like really struggle like a fucking dope fiend, going through rehab or what do you call that shit? Those I don't know, I forgot withdrawals. Like fucking, like it wasn't to this extreme, but like fucking sitting up in the corner like a baby, and just fucking shaking and just going through it. Like I said, it wasn't that extreme, but it was pretty close. It was pretty close. I've went through some wars in overcoming my addiction to cheese. So anyway, I'm on this stair climber and, I haven't had pizza or cheese or any of that shit in a long time. And I'm stepping and, I look up and boom, there's this pizza on the screen and I look away immediately. Because what you give attention to increases in your life. Now, just because I stopped eating pizza does not mean I don't have a desire for pizza. That's not what that means at all. In fact, everything, like living as a frugivore full time. And I don't think I explained this, but as a frugivore, my diet is raw fruit, raw nuts, or raw seeds. And that's it. I don't eat vegetables. You could include vegetables, like raw vegetables, if you like raw vegetables. I don't like raw vegetables. But basically, a frugivore diet consists of eating whatever you can eat and enjoy in its natural state. Meaning you don't have to cook it, you don't have to season it, you don't have to add anything to it. That's how I eat. And so I still have a desire for pizza though. There is nothing like along in this journey of me living as a frugivore. I didn't get to this place because I stopped liking all the unhealthy foods that I was eating in the past. It has absolutely nothing. There is nothing that I stopped eating because I didn't like the taste of it no more. There's not one thing, and I've given up. I mean, I used to eat like anybody else in mainstream society. The burgers, the pizza, the fucking chips, the fucking Mexican food, Italian food. Like, I mean, on and on. The cookies, the snacks, the desserts, the pies, the cakes, you know, the milkshakes, the fast food. Everything. Everything. And there's not one thing that I stopped eating because I didn't like the taste of it no more. I still have a desire for everything that I gave up. But the difference is that desire is now minimal. Right? So, to give you an illustration, a low budget illustration here. This right here is me eating according to what they refer to as the SAD diet. SAD, the Standard American Diet. So that this diet would include everything that I just mentioned. The pizza, the chips, the cookies, the fucking drinking the milk, and the whole thing, all that shit. And this would represent me living as a frugivore, eating only raw fruit, nuts, and seeds. So, in the beginning of my journey, my desire for the SAD diet or the Standard American Diet was up here. And my desire to eat healthy was way down here. And so, the way that I changed this, now it's like this. My desire to eat healthy is up here. And my desire to eat based on the Standard American Diet is way down here. And so the way that I changed that all comes down to what I give my attention to. Just like today, when that image of pizza popped up on the screen, I took my attention away from it immediately. And every single thing, that's how you do. You know, I began giving my attention to research into these foods, into the chemicals that they put in the foods, because that's what makes these foods so toxic and harmful to us. It's the chemicals that they put in them. It's the unnatural flavors and preservatives that they put in them. A lot of these chemicals are really drugs. They're putting chemicals in foods to make you addicted to them. So you buy more because it's a business, and they're in business for profit. And they can only make profit when they're selling product. So they put chemicals in these foods to get you hooked on them. Literally. They're putting drugs in these foods. So that ain't what this video is about though, but I'm just saying, I started directing my attention towards things like that. And I started pulling my attention away from all of those desires for unnatural foods. And I redirected my attention to natural foods. To, eating a frugivore diet. Learning about that. It's just, and see what we do when we want to change something in our life, we want to change a habit, we want to change a pattern of behavior. Where we fuck up at is we focus our attention on fighting the problem. But when you focus your attention on the problem in any kind of way, that problem is going to increase. That's the law. That's how it works. This applies to everyone. That's just how it works. So you don't ever want to focus attention on fighting the problem. You want to focus attention on finding the solution. Like, what is the solution? What is your desired result? So, say you want to lose weight. You don't focus your energy on, your attention on what you need to stop doing. You focus your attention on what you need to start doing. And I hope you getting this, because that's super powerful. It's super profound. This will give you power over your life. You will take complete power and control back over your life. And just think, when I think about how many issues in mainstream society that we've been fighting. For example, racism is an issue that we've been fighting, or not we, because that's not my fight. But, black leaders and whatever has been fighting. Shit, I don't know how long. It hasn't went anywhere. It hasn't gotten any better. There's an illusion of it being better, but it's not any better. Why? Because we're giving attention to the problem instead of giving attention to solutions. That's racism is really ultimately it's a battle. Like, if you subscribe to that, I don't subscribe to that at all. I don't believe in the shit. Like, in fact, I know it's bullshit, but I'm just saying this because I know a lot of people relate to it. So, but I'm just saying. That's a battle that has to be fought by individuals. That's not a battle that can be fought as a collective. Individuals have to make a decision individually to be different. And, that's the way that needs to be approached. And so, as individuals, we have to choose to stop giving attention to racism and race. And we just have to give our attention to the truth and understanding the truth. And the truth is, there's only one race, and that's the human race. We're all the same. We look different, but we're all the same. And so you have to pull your attention out of the lies and invest it in the truth. And opening your eyes to the truth. And we as individuals have to do that. And the more individuals that decide to do that, the less racism will be an issue. Now, again, I don't subscribe to it. I don't believe in it. It's bullshit. Racism is not a factor. It's not even a topic. It's not a reality in my world because I don't give attention to it. Whatever you give attention to is going to increase. Whatever you give attention to will be a part of your reality. And the more attention you give to anything, the bigger of a reality it will be in your life. And it's so simple. And that's all it is to it. But from here, understanding this, now, for this to benefit you, you want to start paying attention to what you're giving attention to. What are you giving attention to? And are the things that you're giving attention to things that you want to be in your reality? Are you giving attention to experiences that you want to have? Are you giving attention to the energy that you want in your life? What are you giving attention to? And are you consciously choosing what you give attention to? Or are you just, giving attention to whatever gets your attention? The rest of life, the truth is simple. Like, I can't explain that any further. Like, that's all it is to it. Truth is never complicated. But from that point, it's about what do you do with it? Are you going to implement this truth in your life? Or are you going to just ignore it? Are you going to just let it go in one ear and out the other? Are you just going to reject it? Are you going to just say it's bullshit? You can do whatever you want to do with it. I don't care what you do with it. Like, I literally do not give a fuck what you do, what you choose to do with the truth I share with you. I mean, I know the shit works. I know how powerful it is. So all I'm responsible for is what I do with the truth when I hear it, when I'm giving it, when I'm giving this gift of this truth or that truth or this understanding. I'm responsible for what I do with it. And that's what I focus on. And what you do with it is up to you. But what I just shared with you will empower you to transform your life. It will empower you to experience life how you want to experience it. Because any experience you don't want to have, you don't have to have. All you got to do, if you don't want that experience, just take your attention away from it. And put your attention into the experience that you want to have. All of life is happening within you. Here and here and here. Life isn't happening outside. Life is happening within. And I got a video talking about that. I think that's the title. Life is happening within you. Oh, it's on the channel. Go check it out. But it doesn't matter what happens out here. What matters is how you respond, how you react, how you interpret, how you understand your perspective on what's happening out here. Like I said in the beginning, two people could have the exact same experience, and one could be depressed and one could be happy. It's not what happened. It's how they chose to perceive or interpret what happened. What makes a good experience a good experience? How you feel. That's it. If you have an experience and it makes you feel good inside, that's a good experience. If you have an experience and it makes you feel depressed or whatever, you would consider that a bad experience, a negative experience. But it's the feeling that creates the experience. It's not what happened. And the feeling that you experience is based on how you think about what happened. The feeling is based on the thought. If you think it's bad, then you will experience feelings associated with bad. This will be a dark experience for you. You may feel depressed or afraid, or you may be worried or scared or just, angry, disappointed, discouraged. You may feel hopeless, whatever. All of those feelings are based on your thoughts about your outer experience, about whatever happened. And you can change that. You could change how you think. You can see life differently. Say you was in a relationship and the relationship came to an end. Whoever you was in a relationship with, they don't want to be with you no more. And so they broke up with you. Your experience will be based on how you think about that. On one side, and there's a lot of different ways you could think about it, but just in general. On one side, you could think about that like, excuse me, you could be sad over it, right? Because, I love this person and they left me. They don't want me. You could feel rejected and discouraged and unattractive and unloved and, on and on and on. But you could also be on the other side and be thankful. Understanding that if that person left, that person wasn't supposed to be in your life, or their time was up in your life. And you could understand that whatever comes next is going to be better than what left. Over here, you could be thinking, I'll never get a man or woman this good. No one will ever be this good to me. This is the best thing that I've ever had. And over here, you could be looking at it like something better is coming. You could be thankful and even excited at the breaking up of the relationship. You could see it however you want to see it. And whatever you believe it to be will be your truth. But the truth of the matter is when something is removed or something or someone is removed from your life, something or someone better is coming. Like this person was removed to make room for someone better or something better. Now that's my perspective. That's what I know to be truth. And so it's nearly impossible for me to have a bad day or for me to be depressed or discouraged or feel hopeless or have anxiety or stress or be afraid or be unhappy at the loss of a person or a job or a material possession, like whatever it is, even money. Because that's how I see it. That's how I view it. That is truth. That's not only my truth, but I understand that is the truth. And so, you know, it's like, hey, something better is coming. And there's anticipation. And that anticipation and that just that understanding, it creates excitement instead of discouragement. Well, I was just thinking that I really got off track, but I really didn't, because going back to attention and how what you give your attention to increases. If I experience a breakup in a relationship, I don't give attention to that. Or I'll say the goal is to not give any attention to that. That's where the work comes in. The work becomes to not give attention to that. Instead, I give attention to truth. I give attention to the truth that something better is coming. Someone better is coming. I give attention to the truth that this didn't happen to me, but it happened for me. This happened for my highest good. This happened for my benefit. These are the types of things I give my attention to. I don't give my attention to, woe is me, this person left me, or I lost the job, all this shit over here. It's super powerful. It's super powerful. I hope you get it. If you don't get it, then listen to this again, because whatever you hear over and over again, it will increase in your life. And faith, I have a video on here called The Law of Faith. Check it out. But the law of faith, the law of belief, faith comes by hearing the same thing repeatedly. If you hear something just one time, that's not going to have any power. It's not going to benefit you at all. You have to hear it over, like you can't hear it enough. This is why, these large corporations, when they advertise, like on television or social media, they blast their advertisements at you over and over and over and over and over, because they understand the more you see, the more you hear about their product, the more you see their product, the greater the chance you're going to begin feeling like you want or need that product. They understand how it works. On a personal level, it works the same way. So if you're not grasping what I'm saying, this is something worth listening to over and over and over again. And it don't have to be from me. Find somebody else that's saying the same thing. You're not going to find a lot of people saying this. I might be the only one saying this because I personally have never heard this before. But it can be said like the same message could be communicated just using different language. And it might resonate with you better. Like this might not resonate with you. I might not resonate with you. But the truth is still the truth. And so find someone else that's speaking it and they're sharing it in a way that you resonate with. And just listen to it. Put it on repeat. Listen to it over and over and over and over and over. And you'll see for yourself. This is really incredibly powerful. Like there's nothing more powerful than what I just shared in this video about your attention. What you give your attention to increases. What you take away your attention from, or what you take attention away from, decreases. What you give attention to lives. What you take attention away from dies. And that's all I got to say on that. Let me know what you think.